So in my opinion, you do not need to be doing barbell squats to build a strong, powerful set of legs. And today I'm going to be talking you through my full leg day that's helped me build my quads, glutes and hamstrings without the use of a barbell. Every single exercise I complete, the sets, reps, rest time, and how you can get the most out of the session to build up your own legs and complete this session in your own time.
So we're kicking off the session today with a 5-minute warm-up. It's really important that you do this to get your legs ready and good to go. It's going to help you avoid injury and it's going to help you perform better as well. Literally just a couple of dynamic stretches. Make sure you follow them listed on the screen. I put the reps and how many times to complete these on the calling cards as well. Just make sure you're taking your time through the movements, making sure you are getting this warm-up done. As I said, it's only going to take you 5 minutes and it's going to help you get warm, avoid injury and smash the remainder of the session. I'm going to be splitting this video up into talking on the mic in the session, and I'm going to be covering technique points with the voiceover as well.
So first main movement we're going to be doing is 2 working sets of Bulgarian split squat. It's always a good idea to do at least a couple of warm-up sets. The reason why I'm doing these in my socks as well is because I get a better contact with the floor. If you've got lifting shoes, Converse, Vans, these work just as well, but using spongy running shoes like this isn't going to help because it's going to cause your feet to be unstable. So now that I'm suitably warmed up, I'm going to work my way through my 2 working sets. I'm picking a weight here that's going to be challenging for around 8 to 10 reps. So by the time I hit 8, 9 or 10, I'm getting close to failure, if not at failure. I like to utilize straps as well, so I'm not having to worry about grip. So that is a top tip for you guys there.
Bulgarian split squats, one of my favorite exercises for building up my quads. These are absolutely horrible, but they are absolutely brilliant as well. You might need to start with your body weight on these even for your working sets, and you're going to steadily build up the weight over the next few weeks, pushing through the heel, making sure you're staying nice and upright and getting a really good range of motion. So I want you guys to be getting your knee nice and close to the ground, and you should feel a really good
So movement number 2 of the session is going to be a dumbbell Romanian deadlift, a crucial exercise that's going to help you build up your hamstrings and your glutes, and it's a good compound movement as well. So we're going to be working our way through 3 sets of 8 to 10 reps. Once again, I like to use the straps because I don't want to worry about my grip here. I want to be focusing on using my hamstrings, using my glutes, and building up my posterior chain.
So any hip hinge movement like the Romanian deadlift can take a little bit of practice, so don't worry if you don't nail it first time. You're really going to think about pushing your hips back, keeping a soft bend in the knee, arms nice and long, chin tucked, and really driving those hips back so that you can feel a stretch in the hamstrings. Once again, don't go too heavy too soon on these. Nail your form and then you can progress the weight from there. Great exercise for building the hamstrings. Do not skip this.
So by this point in the session, you should really be starting to feel your legs, especially after the Bulgarians and the RDLs. Exercise 3, we're going to do a leg press. Because this movement is seated, it gives you a good bit more stability, which means you can go a little bit heavier. However, we're still focusing on getting a really good range of motion, so knees right to the chest. We are pulling our lower back down into the pad, and our foot placement, we're going to be aiming for low to mid foot placement. We don't want our feet to be too high because we're trying to work our quads and we're trying to get as much of a bend in the knee as possible. So once again, I'm just going to do 1 set here just to get a feel for it. Then we're going to move into 3 working sets of 10 to 12 reps.
So the leg press, 3 sets of 10 to 12 reps. I really want you to focus on getting a good range of motion on this exercise. I see so many people only going halfway down, loading the machine up with way too much weight, and you're missing out on so much of the benefit of this exercise. As I said before as well, we're keeping the feet low towards the middle of the pad. We're driving our hips down into the pad and pulling our body in with the handles, and we're literally just pushing for dear life as we drive through the middle to the heel of our foot. The leg press, you can go quite heavy on this one because you don't have to worry about stability, but make sure you're not ego lifting and make sure you are still trying to get a really good stretch through your quads.
Moving into exercise 4, we're doing a lion hamstring curl. We're working our way through 3 sets of 12 to 15 reps. We're thinking about keeping the hips pinned down, and we are squeezing the hamstrings as hard as we can at the top, just as if we were squeezing the bicep on a bicep curl. So this movement is designed to isolate the hamstrings, so we don't want to go too heavy that we're shifting the load onto other parts of our body. So pick a weight you can control, pick a weight that you can complete 3 good sets of 12 to 15 reps, And this is going to be our second last movement of the session.
So the lying hamstring curl, this is a great isolation movement. We're really trying to pin the hips down into the machine. We are driving up through the hamstrings, getting a nice squeeze at the top, pushing the quads down into the pad, and we're basically just trying to get as much of a burn going through this muscle group as possible. Think about it as if you're doing a bicep curl. Squeeze in as hard as you can at the top. Higher rep range, don't worry too much about the weight on this one.
So our final movement of the session is going to be a calf isolation movement. Today I'm going to be doing a seated calf press. You can use any seated calf machine you want, or even a standing calf machine. All we're trying to do here is just isolate the calves. This is an area that I neglected for quite a long time, as you can see, but over the last few months I've been training them at least twice a week, and they have been improving. So do not let your genetics be an excuse not to train calves, because you can improve them with effort and technique. When it comes to training calves, we want to really try and emphasize the stretch portion of the movement, and we want to think about contracting our calves as hard as we can at the top. So with this machine, it's a little bit of a unique one, maybe a bit retro, but this applies for any machine that you're using on calves. We're trying to keep the legs reasonably straight. We're getting a good stretch down through the back of the calves, and then we're pushing through the toes and then squeezing through the calves at the top. So I'm really trying to emphasize that stretch position. As you can see, my ankles are being pushed down, and then I'm pushing through that stretch, squeezing through the calves at the top. So once again on this, we're working through 3 higher rep sets of around 12 to 15 reps, and just take your time on these. You could do these on the leg press as well, with your feet on the bottom of the plate. But we're really keeping that movement controlled, and we're really trying once again to isolate that stretch.
So I covered pretty much everything that I needed to cover on the mic'd up session of this video. However, the seated calf raise, just keep your legs straight, push through the balls of your feet, and make sure you do these, guys, because your calves will grow. Even if it feels like it's not happening, keep it going regardless.
So that is going to conclude the full lower body workout. If you have any questions about the session, drop me a little comment below. Let me know how you found the video as well. This session has really helped me improve my legs without the use of barbell squats and barbell Romanian deadlift. These are still movements that I would recommend to my clients, but for me personally, with injuries that I've had and limitations, it is safer for me to train legs without the use of these movements. But this is going to mark the start of informative content on this channel. If you enjoyed it, be sure to drop a like on the video, and to remember to subscribe to my channel for more workout videos, fitness videos, vlog, and more. I will catch you guys in the next video.